Welcome folks, everything new under the sun. This is part I don't know what of Airstream Restoration, and this is the significant part where we try and make the curve of the body of the skin on cardboard. So you saw in the first clip there I was tracing it. I basically what's the word? I can't even think of the word. Anyways, I was tracing it onto a piece of cardboard that was big enough, and I just used a level as my flat edge, and I just traced it, like I say, on there, the general curve. And then here you see I'm cutting it out, and it's not exact, it's not perfect. There's probably a lot of better ways to scribe. Scribe is the word I was talking about. So that it's known as scribing the line of the curve. And the cardboard is the easy way to do it, because obviously if you make a mistake, you can go back and cut another piece of cardboard and see if it fits. So here I actually try and line it up and see how the curve fit, and it actually worked out really, really closely. I can't see right tight in there, but you'll see it does work. The reason you got to do a fairly good curve is because the plywood actually holds up the skin. The skin sits on top of the plywood sits on top of the frame. And so if the curve isn't correct, then you're going to be missing a lot of points of contact, namely the right in the middle there at the very back of the frame. That's the main point of contact. So once I confirmed that my curve was pretty good, close enough, then I went ahead and scribed it or traced it onto this is 5/8 pressure treated plywood. Now this is like $50 a sheet. I didn't realize it was so expensive. Pretty expensive, but anyways, it should last, and I want it to last. I mean, they should have put pressure treated, I figure, in there in the first place to deal with water and bugs, and it might have stood up a bit better, and then I wouldn't have had to do this. All that being said, you know, this is a 1965 trailer. Again, apologize for the crack in the lens. It is what it is. I just used my Sawzall. I didn't have a jigsaw. Sawzall works perfectly. You just take it easy, and it will certainly go around larger curves. So there you can see the 5/8 plywood there, and like I say, the curve was pretty good. I only traced it once basically, and it seemed to be good enough. So I mean, the rest of it, well, a couple more clips here of us putting it in, and you can see it was quite a struggle to get this one in, because the skin was clamping down, squishing down on the frame, so there wasn't actually enough room anymore for the 5/8 plywood to go in between, because it's a sandwich scenario. First you got the frame, and then the wood, and then the skin sandwiches the wood on top of the frame there. Big day is here. Finally putting some plywood in here. I got the curve cut pretty well, as you saw with the cardboard, which is over there. This is pressure treated, hoping that will stand up a bit better to water and bugs and whatever. Maybe that will discourage bugs from getting in there. I'm going to cover it with flooring anyway, so the fumes and whatever should not be a problem. I mean, we're only in here a few times a year anyways, and I think that'll help protect everything. Also, as you saw, I got this frame all painted up. A single coat of rust paint. That's good enough for now. I'm not too worried about it. As long as I keep the rest of it dry, then I shouldn't be getting wet beams anymore. And I did, of course, replace the beam on the bottom of that one. So I've got two pieces which I cut in half. Because they tuck under the skin of the Airstream, I can't kind of keep one full-length piece, which was just over 7 feet wide. Even if you try and bend it, I think that'd be too tricky. So I think what I did was good enough. I've cut it down the center. I might have to add some support underneath in the back. But honestly, we may make a master bedroom in the back. So that means there's going to be a bed over that, spanning that from beam to beam. So that strength shouldn't be a problem, but I'll probably do something anyways. So now is the final push. We'll see if this curve works and if I can slide this in. This end of the wood should come out halfway. If I did it exactly correctly, I'm sure it's not going to work that nicely, but the other thing is that curve should be pretty close, and that is looking pretty close if you ask me. I mean, look at that. And this end hasn't been hammered in yet, and that's probably why that is there. But I'll get this under. This is kind of squished, because like I say, the skin sits on top of the wood, which is another kind of a bad design, I guess. I don't think they do that anymore. It would be ideal if it kind of just sat on the frame, because otherwise you get your wood going rotten, and all of a sudden your skin starts sinking into the everything. But anyways, I'm going to try and hammer this in. We'll see where I get to, and if this goes in, well, I'll know what to do for the next piece. And the 4-foot width of the 4x8 piece came about to halfway on this beam here, so that works out correctly as well. And then I've got some self-tapping screws that I'll put in to tie them into the wood there. It'll just screws that'll just tap themselves in, and yeah. So let's see how this works. So from here, for the next couple of clips, you can see basically how much time it took to get that one piece in. The other side went a bit easier. There's probably a way to lift up the skin of the trailer itself to separate it from the frame, but you kind of need to pick it up from a few different points. I've seen people do it. They kind of lift it from the ceiling with some curved scaffolding, so you lift it up from the ceiling as opposed from the bottom, because if you try and lift it, you know, from a single point on the bottom, that aluminum will just crush. So it was really hard. We used a pry bar to kind of lift the edges. We eventually got it in. There's also some aluminum on the back side, pleated aluminum, that you kind of got to get it to ride up over, because it kind of sandwiches in the wood, like I say. It would be much easier if the aluminum skin was sitting right on the frame, and then you just made the wood to curve on the inside. You wouldn't have to worry about, you know, getting the sandwich correct, etc. It certainly took a long time to do, though. Well, I happened to be out checking the windows on the truck because it's raining, and I figured, hey, what a great time to have a look at the skylight, see how it's doing for water. You can see the water's just dripping down. It's raining pretty heavy right now, and obviously you can tell by the sound on the camper that it's raining hard too. A couple of leaks. I have some wet spots here, and that is coming from the window. I don't have any leaks up here. No leaks there. It's kind of dripping oddly, or I think it's just rolling down there, streaming down there. It's coming, basically dripping right off here. Something like that. Might even be coming from, no, it looks to be dripping. I'm not sure, actually. It's a weird sort of a drip. Anyways, I see the water here, and it's definitely coming down there. Something I need to adjust. This was plexiglass that someone put in, and the caulking along the bottom on the outside is no good. No good at all. This window, however, is really good. No troubles with it. I don't know if you can see the edges of it or not. But I mean, the Airstream's curved on the side, so it works quite well to my advantage. You can see the water dripping off there. And yeah, the butyl tape I think works really good. I still need to seal up these gaps here. Taking a look back here, these windows, I like how these windows angle out like that, so you can kind of leave the windows open when it's raining, and you don't really get wet. There's no water on the inside, though you can see some drips, but that's just because of the wind, I think, kind of gusting some of the drips in. But otherwise, it works really well. Now I noticed some light up here. I need to cover that. There shouldn't be light in that, because that's gonna be dripping down to the bottom there. So I'll have to address that. Now I see a drip down here. That's not good, and that is coming from up here. Where is that drip? Oh yeah, I see the drip right there. So yeah, this door doesn't seal very well, and the rain splashes on the roof and splashes up under, where you can see the light there. I open this, yeah. So this will be one of the ones I want to replace anyways, maybe with a fantastic fan back here. It's just your standard 14-inch opening. That's it though. I mean, there's no other water here that I see, so it's otherwise pretty good. In pretty good shape there. What is... yeah, everything else is good. No other drips that I see, although I do have some I will need to check some of these holes on the outside and make sure they are solid, but I don't see any other drips. So just checking underneath there. I mean, I don't expect to see anything there. Have some wetness on the aluminum there. Almost looks like it's coming up from the outside on just on the bottom. It doesn't look like it's dripping down the side. So, or maybe it's traveling in from the wheel well. Otherwise, it's pretty dry there. So there you go. There's the other window. The wind's not coming from that direction, so you don't see the drops on the screen. But really like the design of those windows. So all in all, everything's good. This window, I need to replace this, definitely. This has got a piece of plexiglass and someone just slobbered in caulk in there. But this is all rusted and stuff. So I'll probably do the same as the other window. Take that out, put a new 14-inch screen in there, or whatever you call it, a vent with a screen on it. And that'll be a real nice, quick installation, I think. So all in all, well, the rain's picking up a little bit. All in all, it's not too bad. I know the problems. I know the leaks that I have. And I can address them, so I'll be addressing them as soon as I can. And I should show you this. I've got the door open. Not a lot of rain's coming in because there is the rain lip up at the top. So that kind of directs the water around the outside. So that's kind of nice. It's not dripping right down. I see one drip there. But you can see the rain gutter or whatever you want to call it there. So anyways, I better get out and check my vehicle. Make sure the windows are up.